Guillimans' great work, the Codex Astartes. In the wake of the Horus heresy, the Imperium was a torn and broken thing. Over the years that followed, it was the surviving primarchs of the Loyalist legions that held their realm together, staving off countless threats with the blood of their own sons. One wound continued to fester, however, that caused by Horus's unspeakable betrayal. Primarch Robute Guilliman's Ultramarines emerged from the heresy almost intact. Cut off to the galactic south for the majority of the war, Guilliman's warriors had seen less fighting than most. Thanks to their minimal casualties and rapid rate of recruitment, the Ultramarines soon numbered over half of all the Space Marines that stood in humanity's defence. Guilliman wisely recognised that this state of affairs could not continue. Not only did the Primarch eschew such power himself, he also did not wish to see any one person rule over entire Space Marine legions ever again. To this end, Guilliman completed his seminal work, a mighty tome of doctrine, strategy, heraldry, and philosophy known as the Codex Astartes. Set down in its pages was a radical plan to dissolve the Space Marine legions, breaking each one down into a smaller, self-sufficient brotherhood called a chapter. Each Space Marine chapter was to consist of 1,000 warriors, supported by whatever menials and servitors that they required. It would look to its own recruitment from an assigned homeworld or battle fleet, maintain its own armories, and keep its own histories and traditions. Every chapter would be led by a chapter master, each one carefully determined to be worthy of the task. This was a highly controversial proposal, and it almost brought the Primarchs to blows once again. Eventually, however, sense prevailed, and the measures laid down in the Codex Astartes were put into effect in what came to be known as the historical Second Founding. Each legion became a chapter named after its forebear, plus a number of new chapters, each of which would, over the millennia to come, carve its own legend among the stars. In truth, some successor chapters cleaved closer to the statutes of the Codex Astartes than others, while a handful, the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, and Space Wolves amongst them, remained almost entirely divergent. Still, the Second Founding achieved its aims, and laid out the path that the majority of Adeptus Astartes chapters would follow for thousands of years. In addition to this division of the legions, Guilliman ordered a gene bank established on Terra to contain stocks of every legion's gene seed. This would be used in each future founding, ensuring that the only new way chapters could be brought into being was with the express permission of the Adeptus Terra. Never again would any man, no matter how noble, hold the sort of power that had been afforded Horus and his co-conspirators. Thus, the sanctity of the Adeptus Astartes would be preserved.